What's up, Guardians? Avatar here, and build crafting has been rather lackluster for some light-based subclasses, right? So today we're going to dive into some exciting new updates hitting Destiny 2 in just a few weeks, including Bolt Charge, fresh aspects for Titan, Warlock, and Hunter, as well as a bunch of changes to shake up your builds. It feels long overdue, especially with having Prismatic in the game, but these changes are definitely something to look forward to come February 4th when episode Heresy launches. So first up, we have a brand new mechanic type for Arc subclasses called Bolt Charge. So if you're feeling that Arc didn't have enough damage tools to compete with Solar Ignitions or even Void Volatile, this mechanic is about to change that game for you. Of course, we do have Jolt in the game, but this just puts a cherry on top to any Arc build. Bolt Charge is a stacking buff, dealing damage over time with any weapon, and each time you deal damage, your Bolt Charge stacks up, granting you melee energy as you go. Once you hit 10 stacks, you're going to trigger a devastating Arc Lightning Bolt. Think of Solar Ignitions, but smaller area of effect, but more constant uptime. So now let's get into the aspects. With Arc Titan up first, this is called Storm's Keep. And this aspect lets you stack up bolt charges by using your class ability. Basically, you stand behind your rally barricade and you generate additional stacks. The best part, any weapon damage you deal while behind that barricade will unleash those lightning bolts and maximizing damage. Personally, I can't wait to pair this with weapons such as Anarchy, Cloud Strike, Thunderlord, or even legendary weapons with jolting feedback. This is a much needed but welcome change coming for Arc Titans. But for you Warlocks, don't worry. Ionic Sentry has you covered. This aspect will allow you to deploy an arc turret that blinds enemies, change lightnings, and generates bolt charges as you defeat those enemies. Basically, Warlocks get everything. You got your little buddies, and now you've got yourself a little sentry. It's going to be a perfect match for Stormcaller Warlocks, looking to dominate in ad dense activities, but also at the same time having the ability to put out some good damage. I'm personally interested to try this and see how it synergizes with exotic armor like Getaway Artist, Crown of Tempest, or maybe even Fallen Sunstar will have a shine for once. Lastly though, let's talk about Hunters. You're getting a huge boost with a Void aspect called On the Prowl. This is basically going to encourage you to use your invisibility and keep it up as much as possible. So, defeating a marked target is not only going to get you invisibility, but your team invisibility as well, which is going to give you major buffs to reload speed, stability, and ability regeneration. It's really a game changer for hunters looking to boost overall survivability and damage potential. Plus, that smoke cloud that's left behind makes every single person that passes through it invisible. Basically, mark a target, kill the target, leaves a smoke cloud behind, you all pass through it, everyone goes invisible. Hunters, you already have an insane amount of way to go invisible, not to mention the synergy you can create with building into overshields, as well as weakening and debuffing targets with your snare bomb or your tether. Plus, you have that newly exotic shotgun, Slayer's Fang. It's going to pair super well with any type of void build, especially with On the Prowl coming in. Personally, I'm really excited there's a lot of new aspects, but that's not it. Bungie's also tweaking some core abilities across the board. For Titans, your barricade's now going to provide an 80% damage resistance against splash damage, which is basically going to make you more tanky than ever, because the taunt didn't really seem like it was working enough, so let's toss on some damage resistance as well. Juggernaut and Ballistic Slam abilities now will grant Bolt Charge stacks, so you can quickly stack up and deal major damage, but all I can think about is Insurmountable Skull Fort, or hell, even bringing back Dune Marchers into PvE. Stormcallers, basically, your Storm Trance and your Chaos Reach Supers just got a damage buff of 20% in PvE. Lightning Surge is now going to grant Bolt Charges stacks on every single enemy hit, giving you more uptime on having that active. It's going to be a huge buff for Stormcaller builds, focused mainly in PvE, not to mention they were already recently buffed, especially with Stormcaller being that roaming super that got a buff recently in terms of recharge rate. I'm also excited to see how Stormbird Dancers brace. I feel like they could actually be a lot of fun using that build in there too, especially in ad dense activities like Onslaught or Prison of Elders. Now, Hunters. Getting a little bit of arc changes as well as that new Void aspect. So let's talk about balance changes coming to Destiny 2 for your Arc Striders. Tempest Strike is now going to grant bolt charge stacks for jolting targets, and Disorienting Blow is going to deal more area damage with a bigger AoE. Meanwhile, Titan Juggernauts now have splash damage resistance and grants bolt charges when you're blocking damage, giving it a little bit more versatility. For Hunters, the Threadrunner's Ensnaring Slam is now going to trigger effects from Gambler's Dodge and Marksman's Dodge, giving you more mobility and utility potential across every activity. So, Guardians, what do you guys think of the new bolt charge mechanics and the changes that are coming? For me, it's clear that Bungie's making massive strides towards enhancing momentum-based gameplay and encouraging more buildcraft options, especially amongst our light-based subclasses. Also, to me it seems like if they're going to do this for Arc and Void, they're probably going to include the rest of the subclasses as well, adding more aspects in the future. So whether you're an Arc Titan, Stormcaller Warlock, or Night Stalker Hunter, there's really never been a better time to experiment with new builds and find what's going to work best for you. So let me know down in the comments which subclass you're most excited to try, but don't forget to hit that subscribe button, join our community Discord, or catch us live on Twitch, and those links are down below. But until then, folks, I'll see you next time.